My name is Mercy. I see we are live. I have really been looking forward to this session. I partner with Tanari. I train counselors who actually minister to children in churches, in schools, and in the community, basically. So I train them on basic counseling skills. And today I will just want us to talk about mental health. It is very timely, especially in this time of COVID-19. So I can see we have like 4 people who have joined us. Welcome. So let's get to it then. I will start us off with a word of prayer because Jesus is the center of everything that we do. He is actually the perfect counselor, you know. So I will want us to pray. Probably we can close our eyes and pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you. I bless you for this far you've taken us, Lord. Even as we begin to have this conversation, I pray that, Lord, you may speak to us in a way that we may be able to understand, oh God. May you help us to abide in your ways, oh God. Even during this challenging time, may you continue to give us hope. Hope because, Lord, you say that you have a good plan for us, a plan to prosper us and not to harm us, a plan to give us a hope and a future. I pray that you may continue to to speak to us, oh God, in a manner that we may be able to understand, oh God. Even through this session, may you speak to us, oh God. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen. So how are you again? So probably I will just dive into mental health. It's a big word, yeah. But some of the things, it's one of the things that we are actually struggling with as a country and even in the world, across the world, yeah? From children to adolescents to even parents to young people and all, yeah? So today I would want to talk to us about anxiety. Thank you, Ruth Masharia, for coming on board. So I would want to talk to us about anxiety and depression in this time and how can we be able to actually cope during this particular time, yeah? So statistics have shown us that suicide is the second leading cause of death among adolescents and young people globally. And at the point at which young people are committing suicide, they are depressed. So we need to talk about anxiety, we need to talk about depression. So I am just imagining, how was this experience for you? The first time you actually identify, you actually came to know of COVID-19 and as to why you came to understand about COVID-19 and you came to realize that you're supposed to like stay in the house, you're not supposed to go to school and stuff like that. How was it for you? I believe we were anxious because we don't know when are we going to like resume back to normalcy. So with anxiety is basically being overly worried about something that is happening either at the present or in the future. So in this context, it's basically because of COVID-19. We are going through anxiety as a country, yeah? And we have normal anxiety, we have mild anxiety, we have moderate, and we have severe anxiety. So if you don't take care of the if you don't take care of the anxiety right now, it's very difficult. It will basically escalate to become mild anxiety or moderate or even severe, which we basically call it anxiety disorder. So now, what is it that is making you anxious today? Probably you can share with us on you can comment and we'll be able to actually give you feedback on some of the ways you can be able to cope with anxiety. Now, the Bible in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, it says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, love, and sound mind. So even in this difficult time, he still reminds us that he has given us the spirit of power, the spirit of love, and the spirit of sound mind. So if you're going through anxiety, if you're going through stress, and let's start with anxiety, especially if you are about to sit for exams this year, the national exams, either KCPE and KCSE. I have had a conversation with some young people in the course of this week, and they were saying how anxious they are because they don't know whether they are going to sit for the exams or not. Remember 2 Timothy 1:7. God says he has not given you the spirit of fear, but spirit of power, love, and sound mind. So you need to believe him, you need to trust him. Everything will go back to normal. Though you have a role to play, and your role is basically to read, prepare yourself, plan, so that as we transition to normalcy, then you're better placed, you're not left behind. If I may speak to the parents, it is, I know we are going through financial hardships as per now, because some of us have actually been, lost our jobs because of COVID-19. We are working from, some of us are working from home. Some of us have gone through like a pay cut, and it's at times it's very difficult to actually fend for your family. Remember what God says in 2 Timothy 1:7. Yeah. So now, out of the challenges that you're going through, how can we best cope with these challenges? One of the way in which you can best cope is breathing exercise. Taking time, breathe in and out will help you to relax. The other way is you can be able to actually take a walk. You know, if you're stressed like now, you can just take a walk near your house, and remember to put on a mask, yeah, so that you can be able to protect yourself or prevent yourself from getting COVID-19. The other way is stretching. You can actually stretch. Have you ever tried it? Yeah. So you can stretch. When you're in the house. You can do push-ups. You can even take a nap. And then by the time you wake up, you will be better placed. You will feel so relieved. So I would want us to try out one of the exercises that I've given us, like breathing in and out. So I will just want you on the count of 5 to take a deep breath, and then you can post to us. You can just post to us on our comment button to just tell us how it was for you. So are we ready? So in the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath. Out. Again, in the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath. Out. Can you do one last time? 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath. Out. How was that for you? Did you feel a bit relieved? If you are anxious, did you feel a bit relieved? I believe it actually helped. So these are some of the simple exercises that you can be able to engage in to actually help you cope with anxiety. The other way is listening to music. It will make your mind shift to a safe space whereby you're able to calm down. So you can try listening to music, try dancing in the house. Yeah. So it will help you cope. So now, I would want to share with us some of the challenges that I have been getting in regards to COVID-19 and basically what young people are going through. So one of the challenge was for the young person who is taking ARVs. Also speaking to you, if you're there and probably you're on medication or you're having any illness. Take for instance, HIV and AIDS. Sometimes somebody called me some time back and she was really scared of going to the hospital to take ARVs. The ARVs were over and she didn't know what to do. She was scared if she went outside to the hospital, she might actually put herself at a point of, at a vulnerable point where she might even contract COVID-19. So remember, if you're taking any form of medication, it is very important for you to adhere to it. I know you might be scared because of what is happening around, but remember, God has not given you the spirit of fear. So all you need to do is to ensure you put on a mask as you're going outside, to ensure you sanitize, and keep in contact with the doctor who is supposed to give you medication. Like now for the lady, I advised her to actually go and take medication, because if you don't take ARVs, you just stay in the house and you don't have medication, what will happen? Viral load will be so high. Then this will make you to even, your immunity will continue to be lower and lower. So it is not a good way to actually cope with the chronic illness. So what I will advise you is get in contact with the person who is supposed to issue you medicine, and ensure that you have your medication. Okay? Now, there's a lot of stigma we are facing right now, especially the people who have contracted COVID-19. Have you ever tried walking outside and then you just cough? Everyone will just look at you. People will even walk away from you because they will be like, you have corona of 19. I would want to be to take care of our fellow of the people. You know, God has commanded us to love. God has commanded to care for each other, to care for anyone who is in our space. So I want us to be people who help in reducing the levels of anxiety, and also to reduce the level of stigma among people. So if you realize somebody is coughing around you, then it is in order. We must inform the person on how they should cough. Do we know how we should actually cough? So we know, yeah. Instead of just coughing openly, you can of tissue and cough. If for example you are infected with COVID-19, it will not be able to spread to the other person. So ensure that you take care of the people who are in your space. The other way is to empathize. Get yourself into their shoes. I'll give you an example of a story which will actually help us know the essence of empathy. So one time, somebody called me and he was going through a frustrating time. The reason was because the dog had died. I know Timothy mentioned this story, yeah? Not Timothy, Mofoe mentioned this story, yeah? So he called me and he told me he's really frustrated because his dog had died. So imagine if it were you and somebody called you and told you, my dog has died and I'm really frustrated. What is it that you would tell this person? Will you be too quick to empathize with the person, like it's just a mere dog? Like, I mean, you can get another dog outside and you'll be good to go. Or will you be too quick to actually empathize? Empathizing is getting yourself in the shoes of the person who is going through that stress. So when I try to get myself into the person's world, I realized this dog was a source of income. It was a German dog. So by it dying, it meant that there was a loss of income on his end. That will translate to him not being able to actually fend the family, not being able to food some of the that is supposed to. So when you get to the point in which you empathize with the person, then you're able to understand where they are coming from. You'll be able to actually help. So right now, in this time, there are people who have been infected with COVID-19, over 100, right? From the news, yeah? You can be able to tell, you have been able to get the statistics. So what are you doing for you to actually empathize with their situation? The other day we saw young people at KMTC. Some of them were frustrated because they have been locked because of quarantine. They have been isolated because of quarantine, so that they can be able to quarantine themselves, and they are separated from their family. So this is actually loss in itself, because it's separation from the family. So are you able to actually empathize with them? When this person coughing around you, are you able to actually empathize with them? Yeah. When your child, I'm speaking to the parents, when your child is telling you how frustrated they are, like the other day, my nephews are 8 years old, and they were telling me they are really frustrated because they cannot be able to go out with their friends. And this is a source of anxiety. When is this COVID-19 going to end so that we can be able to play out with our friend? So the cause of stress to them is basically because they cannot be able to play outside with their friends. So are you able to empathize? Getting in a world. You know, when you empathize, if now it was the case of my nephews, I would be like, you know, people don't even have food to eat. Some don't even have shelter. Some are being locked out of their houses because they haven't paid rent and stuff like that. So you're telling me about outside with your friends, then it doesn't make sense. So when I say that, I am not empathizing. I'm actually very cold with the child. So I am basically doing more harm than good. So for you, are you doing harm than good as a parent? Whatever you're telling your child, if your child comes to tell you the source of stress, it could be, to you, it could look very small. But this is the advice I give as a psychologist. If it is a big deal to your child, let it be a deal to you as a parent, as a caregiver, because that is the only way you'll be able to. So if you have an adolescent and they're telling you the way they are frustrated because they don't know when they will to school, it's a source of stress, or even hanging out with their friends. You know, adults love hanging out with their friends. And right now, because of the curfew, most of them are not, parents allow them to actually go outside because of basically protecting your child. So are you able to actually get to their world and understand what is happening? What are their thoughts around COVID-19? Do they have proper info in regards to the same? Then you will be of more help than harm. Now, you as a parent, as a caregiver, remember, you cannot give what you have. If you're going through stress or frustration because probably you don't know how you're going to pay your rent, we are actually towards the end of the month. Yeah, next week we mark the end of April. So you're wondering, where will this money come from to actually rent? It is quite frustrating. I can imagine the level of frustration you're going through. So as you this frustration, remember, you cannot give to your child what you don't. You cannot accommodate your child's stress or anxiety levels if you yourself, you're actually anxious and worried. And I'm not trying to do away with anxiety or being worried. It's normal for every one of us. And being a parent, it does not make you immune to anxiety. It does not make you immune to stress. It is part and parcel of life. But one thing to know is hurting people hurt. So if you're frustrated and if you're frustrated because of a problem, like the problem that I have shared about being stressed out because of you don't know how you're going to actually foot the bill, you're going to pay for the house, and your child is here telling you because they cannot go to the supermarket, they're not allowed to go to the supermarket because of this COVID-19. If you've not handled your stress as a parent, as a caregiver, it is very difficult for you to handle the stress of your child. So what is it that is stressing you? And have you taken time to actually accept that is stressing you? I started off this conversation giving us some of the tools that can help. And throughout this session, I will keep constantly repeat on them because you can pick either of them. So I mentioned about breathing, first of all, you need to know what is happening and normalize it, because it is normal to go through the stress because you don't have rent. It is very normal. Normal to actually go through anxiety as a young person because you don't know whether you're going to sit for your exams this or next year you will have to repeat the class. It is normal. So first accept and normalize. It is okay to be okay. It does not mean you are going crazy. You see the way we say crazy, quote unquote, it means you're going crazy. It just means you are a normal human being who is exhibiting feelings because of the frustration that has come with life. So now accepting, what do? You need to breathe in and out. Then after breathing in and out, what else do you need? You need to actually take a walk. When you take out, it will help you relax. It will not do away with the problem of you not having money to pay for rent, but it will help you relax. It will help your body relax. The other thing, you talk about it, which is very important. Talk about it. Finances, it is very difficult for you in the financial aspect. As a parent, talk to somebody about it. You know the wise saying, a problem shared is a problem half solved. Talk to your friend, talk to your brothers, talk to your sisters about it. It does not mean when you read somebody about it, it does not make you weak. It just makes you human. Let's embrace humanity, because with life, frustration will come. With life, stress will come. With life, anxiety will come in. But now, how do you manage it as a person? So talk to someone about it. And there's a line that you can be able to reach us, especially if you're going through this difficult time. So our number is 075434192. We will also post it on our comment section. If you want to reach out to me, if you want to reach out to some of us in Tanari Trust, you can actually call us on that line and we'll be able to remember, you are not alone. So bring out the aspect of you're not alone, let me delve into depression. Depression is an overly sad mood. And how does it escalate? It escalates because how does somebody come to the point where they're depressed? At first, it starts with a normal stress. Oh, I do not have this, or I do not have food for my family, so I begin to get stressed. So if I don't accept and normalize it as life and talk with somebody and it is by me sharing it with someone, it does not make me weak, it just makes me human. Then at the end of the day, I will be doing more good to myself than harm. So depression, if you're stressed and you don't deal with it, it will escalate to mild depression. Then it will become moderate. Then it will become severe. Some of the signs of depression include helplessness and hopelessness. That's a key to depression, whereby you're feeling you have reached your end. Like there isn't much that you can do to help solve the situation you're going through. Then that will make you actually be at the verge of depression. The other one is insomnia or lack of sleep. It's at you are totally not able to sleep. Then you need to identify what is it that is stressing you. The other side of depression is overeating. Like you find yourself eating a lot. We call it compulsive eating. eating at all. You're too frustrated. Even you don't even you lack appetite completely to eat. So the other one is crying, angry outburst. You're constantly crying, you're constantly sad. And if you do not, if you have, if from the sharing that I've done, if you identify that you're experiencing a few signs that I have mentioned, please reach out to some. We have numbers that run even 24 hours, even in the middle of the night when you're feeling that you're not actually take care, you're not able to cope with the frustration that you're going through to the point where you're not getting sleep. Reach out to 1190, 24 hours. Reach out to a hotline number 1190. It operates from 10 p.m. and you'll be able to get help. You are not alone. Constantly remember, not alone. If you're there, a young person, and you're struggling, and probably getting the signs that I've mentioned of depression, remember you're not alone. If it has escalated to the depression has escalated to the point where you're cutting yourself, you're doing harm to yourself, out. You are not alone. We are here for you as Tanari Trust. Our number again, I will share with us so that you can actually feel free to reach out to us. Our number is 0735355192. 0735435192. Reach out. You are alone. I know at the point where you're thinking of committing suicide, you feel, I can imagine the feeling. You feel alone. You feel like there's no one through the hardships that you're going through. I'm here to tell us you're not alone. We are here for you. That exists to give you the psychological support that you require. I'll just give us a story to just tell us about aspect of you not being alone. So one time, this 24-year-old guy who reached out at the verge of committing suicide. He had already bought medication to kill himself. And you know, by the time calling me, he was in Uhuru Park. He had bought medication and he wanted to. And the reason as to why he wanted to die, because he had lost his car, and he did not have any source of income. How did it come to lose his job? One time he was in conversation with a client, and the client did not like the feedback he gave him. So the client reported him to the boss, and that is his job. This guy had really struggled throughout his life. Number one, orphan. So at the age of 10 years, when he was in life, his mother left him to be married to someone else in a different country. The person who the mother was getting married to asked the mother to actually pick whom she will want to stay with. The husband and the child. The mother chose the husband. And that is how she left the country. So this young man, let's give you his name because of confidentiality, but let's call him James. So James is left at class 5. His mother has left him and gone and is married off to someone else. He's been left with the relatives. This month he's staying with the relative A. The next month the relative A is relative him to someone else, and he was being tossed throughout his primary school life. He was tossed around house to another. How he chose to cope with that situation is he decided to work very hard. He was reading, he was studying, first to go to the best schools in this country. That was actually a way of coping. So you might be in this video and you're an orphan. You can relate to the story that I'm actually sharing. Remember, you're not alone. And remember, you can pick up a positive way of coping. For it was to work very hard so that he grows up, he can be able to actually earn a better living. He worked. And let me tell you, hard work pays. So if even you 7 class 8, work, read, study. Yes, I know you don't know about, but let me assure you from what the Bible says, God has a good plan for us. Tomorrow will be fine. All you need to do is look hands that you can do. So back to James' story. And do you know, when he was in class 8, he did extremely well and went to one of the best schools in this country. It was a national. So when he got KCPE results, he walked into a conversation of his relatives saying they do not have fees to pay for him to go to that reputable high school. But do you know what God provided for him? So even if you're in Form 4, read. God will make a way for you. Study. Yeah, God will make. So he managed to go to university. He finished. He managed to go to high school. He finished. He went to university. He finished. And he was one of the people who got work at a very young age. He started organizing his life. First things first, he got for himself, ending on his own. So if you're going through hopelessness, there is hope. All you need to do is to identify positive ways, and you will be fine. I guarantee you will be fine. So back to James' story. So here he is. Another frustration has come. He has a job. He has lost his house because he wouldn't be able to have a source of income, so he cannot pay for his rent. He has now moved living in a very good place to actually surviving along the streets. Can you imagine sleeping on the streets, lacking food, lacking clothing? So out, then I will actually guide him through. And you know what? He discovered that he can actually cling on God. He can actually do something with his life. He's still young, so there's a whole lot he could. So he began first. He began for a job at a photocopier, placed in photocopier, and luckily he got the job. As we speak, he has his own house again. He got a better job manager at a particular place. If God did it for him, he can actually do it for you. So how can you be able to cope? Positive, I encourage us to have positive ways of coping. Don't go on to the negative ways. The negative ways of taking drugs. When you take alcohol, you're actually making the situation more frustrating. Once you're done with taking alcohol, it won't solve your situation. It will actually lead you to addiction. And that is making your problem more worse. If you take bang, if you abuse, if you engage into sexuality at a tender age, into sex at a tender age, it is not going to help you solve the situation. It's going to make the situation more hard, especially lady. pregnant, and if you're young and you don't even have a job, even settled, when you now decide to actually engage into sexual intercourse at a tender, then it becomes very difficult. You will get pregnant. Then what? It becomes very difficult for you. So choose positive ways. And I will just reiterate the purpose of coping. One of them is breathing exercise. Breathe in and out. Take a nap. Take a walk. Meditate. You know, when you meditate, you relax to understand what is it that is stressing. You can journal, like journaling, taking a book, whichever piece you have. Take an exercise book and write down your feelings. How are you feeling at a particular point in time? Be yourself. That will help you get in touch with your feelings. And there's nothing as good as understanding your feelings, understanding what is happening, understanding where the problem is, and being able to come up with a viable solution. Without understanding the problem, it's difficult to actually come up with a solution. So understand the cause of your problem. As a young person, write it down, journal it, and be able to highlight if whatever problem you're being able to highlight what it is, and being able to highlight how it makes you feel. Be honest with yourself. Then that is a good start. Then see how can you best address that particular problem. So meditation is very important. And meditation is basically you whichever corner in the house you would want to go and meditate. Stay alone and just think through frustration. Think through where you are at as a person. Then you can also stretch. You can also talk to someone. Talk to us. Let us you. Even remember, reaching out to someone does not make you weak. It doesn't. It's just human. And we are all human, go through difficult time. Imagine even Jesus went through a difficult time. And he's Christ, he's Lord. And you could see, you remember the time in the temple? He went through a difficult time. He was stressed out because people were actually selling in the temple. And he had not vision people doing that. And he was angry. That tells you is a normal mood, normal feeling. But when the anger escalates to a point whereby you're hurting yourself or you're hurting other people by throwing things at them, then you need to seek help. Yeah? Talk to us and we'll be able to support you. Reach out to us and we'll be able to. We are here for you. Another Isaiah 41 verse 10, it says, "Fear not, for I am you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." 1:10, fear not, reminding us even in this difficult time, fear not, for he is with you. Be not dismayed, for he will strengthen you, he will help you, and you his right hand. He's commanding us not to fear. He has not given us the spirit of fear, the spirit of power, the spirit of love, and the spirit of sound mind. He says, those to born is in his hands. All you need to do, just like Moses, the story of Moses, when he was sent into, when he was told to go and rescue the Israelites from Egypt, he was scared. He did not know about to not know whether he will come out of it alive. The same way, I'm speaking to some of us who are probably infected with. The Bible is telling us not to fear. You are in that position, just like Moses. You're feeling like you do not know whether you're going to come out alive. Fear not. You're there, you don't even know about tomorrow, how you're going to actually pay school fees, if whether you're going to get another job. Probably you've been laid off work and sure about how you're going to get a job. Telling us, fear not. The same way God spoke to Moses during the difficult time the Israelites were experiencing in the land of Egypt. He told Moses, I have sent you to go. And Moses says, I am a stammerer. But God still commissioned him to go. This is us, even in this trying time, he's telling us to go. Go meaning to use whatever resource you have. If you're a young person, to sit in for your exam, going for you means continue studying. Don't worry about tomorrow. Look at what is in your hand. Studying, revise, do your assignments. If you're a child, doing your assignment and obeying your parents as well. Philippians, it says, do everything without complaining or murmuring. So if your parent sends you, do it. Do not complain. You see, like Moses, at first he told God, oh, I'm a stammerer. He started stuttering. God does not like we mama. If you're there, najua sahi, you're like mzae labda na mother wako tu hapo na unafeel kama wanakutuma tu sana, unashanga nilitoka kwa hao wakuache hapo peke yako. The Bible tells you to go meaning you have to and do. If you spread your bed, do the roles that is expected of you. Utensils, clean the house. Your parents are not actually punishing you. They are training you because you're the future mother. You're the future. So, and do it with love. And if you're there, continue. Going means what is within you. If you've been laid off work, what do you have with you? God has given sound mind. That means the ability to generate ideas that can actually help you be able to come up, to generate, it can actually sustain your family for this duration of time. So because God has given you a sound, what is it, what idea can you write down? Habakkuk 2:2 says, write it down. God likes it when you write it. Write down your idea. What business can you act? Yeah. Look at what is in your hands. Limited to think. Come up with ways in which to actually fend for your family. God has blessed you. God has given you mind. So let's utilize. Then, please, let's continue praying. Let's continue heeding to God's purpose for our lives. Continue worshiping Him in spirit and in truth. Yeah. Continue worshiping him in spirit and in truth. God will bless you. God is constant. He's the same yesterday, forever. So cling on him. Difficult, yes, but he has given you a resource. What resource? What is resource? Resource is within your power for you to utilize. Do about it. 3 questions are you now? Where would you want yourself to be, and how get there? It takes discipline. Yeah. How is your house to a place in which you can be able to work effectively and deliver? It's commanding you also not to. If you've been given targets as a parent, ensure you meet the target. Don't murmur. Use whatever, and God will richly bless you. So much for this time. I don't know whether we have any to ask that I can be able to actually give out. You can just jot it down and actually give you feedback. For now, I will end of our number. Reach out to us on 035 43 5192. Again, 735 43 592. If you're in taking part in such a training like basic counseling skills, you're a teacher, you're a facilitator of kids, adolescents, and young people, and you will want some of the basic counseling skills or some of the mental health, some of the things that can help you actually can help you cope with the mentals among facing adolescents, young people. Please reach out to us, narrators, through the line as well. And also you can actually inbox us. You can actually inbox us. So thank you very much. Thank you much for everyone who has joined in. We've had 40 years joining us, and we hope that you have enjoyed the session. Feel free to comment, feel free to ask us questions, and we will actually reach out to you. Bye.